Hi there, this is Noah with the training department. This is going to be a brief video on minimum order requirements. Minimum order requirements allow you to set the minimum total or subtotal that is required for your customers to check out on your website. And you can have one setting that applies for all orders across the board, or multiple settings depending on the inventory in the customer's cart. So let's take a look at Admin Rules Availability Rule Sets, and let's click into General Availability. So as we can see here, enforce minimum order currently is set to $250. So again, that's going to apply to all orders across the board. But let's say I've decided, for example, that I'd like to sell gift cards, and if somebody's just getting a gift card, I'm going to go ahead and let them check out regardless of their total. And by the way, this system has special functionality for gift cards that's pretty darn cool. You don't even have to send your customers a physical gift card if you don't want to. For more information about that, please feel free to do a keyword search in the knowledge base for the word gift cards. So anyway, there are two different ways that we can establish different minimum order requirements for different items. So let's look at the first way. We're going to click into Admin Products Schedule Profiles and look at Items for Sale. Now in your folder, this might be called Sales Items or something along those lines, but it will certainly involve the word sale or sales. And the idea with any item using this schedule profile is that it's not going to be an item that you expect to get back. So for those of us who are doing a lot of rentals, this would be the items that are going out with your rentals that you don't expect to get back. And the important thing with these schedule profiles is that the mode be set to none, and that we use the price rule set whose name corresponds to the schedule profile name. Again, that price rule will involve the words sale or sales. But specifically for the purposes of what we're talking about here, minimum order requirements, the other important thing is that we don't have any availability rule sets attached to this schedule profile. So as we recall from just a moment ago, in general availability, we have the enforce minimum order requirement. But since this particular schedule profile is not using an availability rule set, the system is not going to enforce that minimum order requirement. So let's go ahead and create our gift card item and set it up so that we can bypass that minimum order requirement. We're going to go to Admin Products Items, and we are going to add a new item. I'm going to call this item $50 gift card. It's going to cost $50, surprise, surprise. I'm going to say I have 1,000 of them. And by the way, since this is a sales item that you don't expect to get back, the system by default does not count down your inventory as you sell those items, but it is capable of doing that if you like. For more information on the settings that you have to enable in order to make the system do that, feel free to do a search in the knowledge base for the word sales items. All right, I am going to go ahead and put this in sample category 1, and I am going to, this is important, I am going to add the items for sale schedule profile rather than the category default. And then this is the other important thing about gift cards. We need to put the word gift in the SKU field. And then I am going to make this a non-taxable item because they're going to pay tax on the order itself when they use the gift card. And that's all we need to do for testing purposes here. So I am going to submit my edits here. And then I am going to go into the scheduling tab and make a quick test order. Okay, so the fact that we don't see a minimum order required message here, along with the fact that it is willing to let us make a payment here, tells me that the settings we established are working correctly. So we just learned how to bypass minimum order requirements for certain items, but we can also enforce different minimum order requirements for different items. So let's remember this order number as it's going to come in handy later in this video, and let's check out how to establish different minimum order requirements at Admin, Rules, Availability Rule Sets. And then let's go ahead and copy general availability, and let's go ahead and call this test. And let's go ahead and say $100 for our minimum. And again, we're just testing here, so I'm not going to bother editing the block message, and subtotal is fine, so let's go ahead and submit our changes here. And then let's go to Admin Products Schedule Profiles, and let's copy main. Once again, I'm going to call this test. When you're creating rules and settings that require different parts of the system to talk to each other, it's usually a good idea to name them the same thing, just so that it's more uniform and easy to understand. So what I need to do here is I need to go ahead and edit the availability rule sets and apply this one, the one that we just made. And other than that, we should be good here, so I'm going to go ahead and submit my edits here. And then I am going to go into Admin Products Items, and I'm going to apply that schedule profile to Sample Product 4. Then I'm going to go ahead and submit my edit there. And then I am going to go into the CRM, and looks like my search is already filled out, so I'm going to go ahead and click into the order. And I'm going to remove the gift card from the cart, and I am going to put sample product 4 in the cart and test out that minimum order requirement. So we can skip straight to the payment screen since the customer info is already filled out, and we should get an error message. Yep, there it is. So if we click back into the cart and we continue shopping, if we put a sample product 5 in there, we should still get an error message, and we'll take a look at that in just a minute. So yes, we've gotten that error message, and the reason why is because the only item that requires a minimum order of $100 in order to check out is sample product 4. Since sample product 5 is using the main schedule profile that uses the general availability rule set that enforces that $250 minimum order requirement, the system defaults to requiring the higher amount. So let's go back into the cart and delete this from the cart and add one more of these, and we should be able to check out now. And we're getting an error message there just because we don't have a delivery address in place. And that's because when we originally started this order, we were testing out our gift card settings. And since gift cards are using that sales schedule profile, it doesn't require a location. So all we would have to do to fix that would be to go into the customer info screen and add a delivery address. And most of the time, of course, it's going to be as simple as just doing that. So that's it for minimum order requirements. I hope this was helpful. As always, anytime you're working in the system and you have questions, the knowledge base is your friend. And you can also access the knowledge base by clicking on the little floating help icon right here. And of course, the tech support department is always happy to help as well, and you can reach them at 505-435-9731, extension 102, or support@eventrentalsystems.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.